Hi everyone, it's Marisa from BumblebeeApothecary.com, and today I'm going to bring you along while I make steak and kidney pie. In this type of Nourishing Traditions, Wise Traditions, Weston A. Price, or Gap style eating, we're always trying to incorporate organ meats. And I have another video, which I'll link down below, for the kidney recipe from the Nourishing Traditions cookbook. And then this recipe, steak and kidney pie, is something that I've always kind of known about and heard about, and I've always thought, hey, that would be really fun to try. So today I'm going to make it and bring you along. The recipe that I'm making today is very loosely based on the one in the Fannie Farmer, this very old Fannie Farmer cookbook. I'm changing quite a bit of things, and I'll just kind of explain what I do as I go. Earlier in the day, I put my beef kidneys to soak in lemon juice, and did that early enough so that they could soak for several hours in lemon juice in the refrigerator. I'm going to turn the heat on probably medium-high for now. Actually, I'm going to start at high just to really get this warm. And I'm going to add some butter. I have some butter in there melting, probably a good 3, maybe 4 tablespoons. As it gets going, I will turn that heat down. While that's melting, I'm going to slice 2 onions, and then I'm going to add the onions to the butter. Okay, so the onions are looking very nice. They are starting to look translucent and soft, starting to get kind of a brown color to them. So I'm going to start adding some of the meat. And as I'm cutting up these kidneys, I'm keeping the piece of fat that's on there. Next, I'm just going to cook these and stir them until the pieces of meat are just browned on the outside. Okay, we're getting close here. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next step. So I'm going to add some water. Yeah, it looks like 2 cups. 2 cups of filtered water is good. And then the Fannie Farmer cookbook calls for Worcestershire sauce, and I have made a homemade version of that before, but the ingredients are not compliant with the GAPS diet, and my youngest does need to stay on GAPS right now. So as kind of an alternative, I'm just going to add a splash of apple cider vinegar. I am also going to add some parsley. This could be fresh or dried parsley. And then salt and pepper to taste. Okay, and then it's coming up to a simmer, and I'm going to keep the meat at a simmer. So I'm gonna, or keep the heat rather, at a simmer. So I'm gonna have it medium-low is usually good for the stove. And then I'm going to put a lid on it, and then I'm going to let it cook just at a low heat. I'll be checking on it every now and then to make sure it's at the nice simmer stage. And I'm gonna let that go for 1.5 to 2 hours until the meat is nice and tender, and then I'll come show you the next step. Okay, so the cooking time is up. Cooked to where the meat is nice and soft, and I have my oven now preheating to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and take out some of the kidney meat for my youngest little guy because he's not going to be eating it in its finished form. So I'm just gonna take out some of the kidney meat to set aside for him to have. And then now I'm going to mix up the topping I'm going to put on. So you have a few different options for this. You could eat it just like this, would be fine. You could do a cauliflower type of a topping like I sometimes do for my casseroles if you're on GAP. So it would be riced cauliflower, and you can mix some seasoning, some egg in there and put that on there. If you're not on GAPs, you can do mashed potatoes for the topping. You could do like a pie crust pastry top, or you could do a biscuit type of topping. I'm going to do a sourdough biscuit sort of topping. So I'm gonna make it really easy. I'm just gonna use my sourdough starter. I'm gonna mix a little bit of baking powder and some eggs and salt with it, and then put that on, and then bake it. Whoop, there goes my oven. And then bake it in the oven for 15 minutes or so until it's done. So I will just start by adding my sourdough starter to a bowl. I'm gonna add 1 egg, sprinkle of salt, and then I'm just gonna add 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm also going to add some chunks of butter too, cold butter. Just cube it up into some little pieces and then mix that in. Okay, and then I'm just going to mix that together. And then it's going to go into the 400-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 15 minutes. I'm going to start checking on it after 15 minutes and see if it looks like it's cooked through. I think that next time I make this, I'm going to let the initial cooking time happen partially with no lid on, just to evaporate more of that liquid. The recipe that I'm coming from talks about adding liquid as it's cooking, so I definitely did not add any liquid. Another thing that they do, which I did not do, is they add flour to thicken it, and I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to stick with my sourdough topping. Okay, looks tasty. And then we're also going to have it with some green beans on the side. Okay, there we go. I hope that you enjoyed coming along as I made that recipe. Make sure and check out that description box for links to free ebooks and other goodies. I have more nourishing recipes, including organ meat recipes, on my channel, so be sure and check those out. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with anybody else who you think would like to see it, and if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I get out new videos every week on nourishing recipes and natural living. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.